this project I want to show you is it's called Document, and it's a kind of a project that's been going on for a few years now. So this is the most recent version, and possibly getting towards the end of it now. And for the last few years I've been working out how to document my family's ephemera, really. And I'm sure we all have boxes of things that belong to other people around the place that we can't part with because it's so precious, but we don't really know what to do with. So I've managed to get many big suitcases down into this little amount here. So this first one, I won't show you every single book because we'll be here for ages, but I'll show you a few things. So this is my baby book that my mum started keeping for me, but I've used it as a kind of a scrapbook. I've stuck tons of things in, pictures of me. So this one, it's just all bits and pieces of things my mum kept about me that have stitched things in, all sorts of stuff that I found. So that's just one way of collecting things, sticking them in, you know, all my school stuff, pictures of things. There you go. So that's a simple one. Okay, so then I will show you this next. This book is about my mum, and I have everything in here I had already. I've not added anything. So this card came from the back of a certificate, I think. This is one of my mum's drawings to make the box. And then this book is, this shape is called a Turkish map fold, and it opens out like this. So it's a way of making bigger sheets of paper smaller. And you can probably see from above there's an awful lot of these shapes. So the whole book can be opened this way, and you have pages, but each one of those pages, mind of its own, each one of those, and even within those pages there's little folds, and these are all my mum's drawings, mum writing, photos, all sorts of things. But then also each one of these folds out and becomes its own thing. Can you see? So you can also look at it this way and go into the bits of paper and see what the information is inside each of these pieces of paper, whatever that might be. So for me, that was a way of cramming a whole load of information into one small package. So there's, I don't know how many pieces of paper there are there. And if I wanted to, the whole thing would lie out flat. Can you see? So each one opens out and lies out flat. So if I wanted to, I could look at everything at the same time, which was part of what I was trying to do there. Okay, let's have a look at this one. This one is about my dad, and I've used this little pocket that it lives in is basically a certificate of his for education that he got many, what does it say, 1960 I think. So I use, it's quite stiff, so I use that as the outside, but then inside it's a photograph of him. And then I've made this, basically it's a concertina book, as you can see from that side, concertina, and double-sided, so there's a front and a back to it. And all of the papers involved in this are all his papers of some, there's another certificate. There's his CV, parts of his documents from when he did his most recent degree, photographs, all sorts of stuff, drawings that I found that he'd done when he was a child, letters with his handwriting, all sorts of stuff in there. that really means nothing to anybody else and would just be considered rubbish. But to me, it's all part of my dad, and all part of who was. School certificates, yeah, everything I had basically got folded up and stuck in here as a memory of him. Okay. What else shall I show you? This, yeah, this one is about my brother, and actually this leather was from my dad's Bible cover that I've cut up and made into this little pocket to house this book. This was from, my brother played football, so this was from one of the shields that he won for something or another to do with football. And then inside are photographs, a little folded up, this is his birth certificate. I stuck photos inside, so this is all things to do with my brother. And then I made this book. So this was a whole load of photographs that I had that had been printed off over the years. Ooh, as photocopies. So they're just photocopies. So they fold nicely. They're reasonably nice paper. And they fold. Oh, hang on. It's a massive snake of a thing. So it can become, again, it can lie out and become a massive, great big piece, or it can fold back away and tuck back into the cover. And for me, my brother was very active, was very playful, so I wanted to make a book that would reflect that. Then let's show you this one, and this one is my dad as well. And I took, again, this is just some music that I found in his things. That's from the front of a book. You know, often these books were presented to people for different things. So that was from that. But I handmade this paper. This paper is all made out of his Bible that I made. I tore it up and made it into this paper and then stitched that together. That's a photo of him. That is his name was Peter, but there's a book in the Bible called Peter, so I cut that out to use for his name. Stitched everything with gold just to elevate it and make it beautiful. And then I also took some of the pages from the Bible and wove them together to make these extra pages. So there's a whole range of different sorts of textures and papers. And he had highlighted many things in his Bible, so I cut out bits that kind of struck me, that had something, reminded me of him in some way. So this is a whole little journey of his faith, really, made into a little book. So again, that's very personal, would mean nothing to anybody else, but to me is very, very precious. This is just a little bit of fun. This is my mum used to really like to design circles. So that's a big one. She would draw circles and sit and design them and fill them in. So I just had all these circles. So I wanted, again, just to make something fun out of her artwork and not waste it. I couldn't throw it away. How can you throw these beautiful things away? So I made these little books. And they're a lot of fun because hard to show you on here, but they can stack up and become, you can play with them, stack them up. They can become little sculptures in themselves, so you can have a lot of fun enjoying the designs but playing with them at the same time. And finally, I'll just show, hang on. Oh yeah, this one's nice. I'll show you this one. This is from my parents' wedding. So I had these beautiful telegrams. So it was 1967. So straight away, this for me, the design takes you to the 1960s. Even the telegram, it's not a thing now. So all of that gives you a time period and a feel straight away. So all I did was stitch the 2 telegrams that I have together and then stuck things inside. So my mum wrote poetry, so that's some of my mum's poem. These are some materials from the wedding, little tickets, just little bits of information. So it's very quick and easy, stitched together with gold again, just to be precious. So yeah, so there's many things you can do. This is an embroidery that was on the front cover of an exercise book of my mum's that she did many years ago. So I just made it into a little bag, added a button and stitched this piece. And then inside, my mum kept journals, especially the last couple of years of her life. So I decided I wanted to keep my favourite pages because I couldn't keep the bulk of them. There were so many of them. And she wrote stuff and she drew stuff. So I kept all my favourite pages, basically. And again, 2-sided, so you can lay it completely out and look at everything, or you can just flip it a page at a time and look at one thing at a time. But it's again a lovely way to put something precious into a little package so that you can keep it and bring it out whenever you want to. And I just keep it all in this old suitcase with little cars. That was my dad's car, that was one of my brother's cars, and there's much more in there, but that's for another time.